We got a great sponsor. It is Home Title Lock. My friends, go to HomeTitleLock.com now and use promo code TIM. If you're a homeowner, you need to hear this. When's the last time you checked on your home title? That's a legal proof that you own your house. If you're like me, the answer is never. Well, to be fair, because of these guys, I did. And I will tell you, too, I was actually really surprised when I bought my first house, how I was like, what's the proof that I own this? And they're like, it's a paper. Where? Somewhere. And I was like, for real? That kind of freaked me out. The problem is in today's AI and cyber world, scammers are stealing home titles and your equity is the target. How it works? Criminals forge your signature on one document, use a fake notary stamp, pay a small fee with your county, and boom, your home title has been transferred out of your name. Then they take out loans using your equity or even sell your property. You won't even know it's happened until you get a collection or foreclosure notice. That's why you need to stop what you're doing today and find out if you're already a victim. Use promo code TIM at HomeTitleLock.com to make sure your title is still in your name. You'll also get a free title history report plus a free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud should happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Again, HomeTitleLock.com, promo code TIM. Shout out. Really do appreciate you guys sponsoring the show. The Telegraph. Fears over Iran's missing 400 kilograms of uranium, and that's if we just believe the reports. But we have this satellite image from Fordo showing what appears to be, I think, 16 trucks. I could be wrong. Maybe another one I missed. Now, the reports are that 2 days before the strikes, they were able to get all of the fissile material out of these facilities and then spread them out to who knows where. J.D. Vance was asked about this, and he says, we're not so concerned about their 60% enriched uranium. We were concerned if they were going to continue enriching upwards of 90%, and we have taken away their ability to do that. That being said, there are many people who are deeply concerned this is not over. Iran may agree to a ceasefire, but what happens if they start dispatching even 60% uranium to various like the Houthis or other terrorist insurgent groups in the region, and then we see some random armed insurgent group making threats and making demands, but armed now with a dirty bomb?
Well, I mean, I imagine this is something that the administration has on their radar, and I feel like it's the same result. Like if Iran were to give nuclear material to someone like the Houthis or whatever, like the U.S. is going to know where it came from. There's not a whole lot of places where this stuff can come from. You don't think so? Why not?
17, let's say 16 trucks. We don't know which one was loaded with what. Those 16 trucks drive off in different directions and go into a big facility where 16 more trucks drive out. Those 16 trucks then drive across various borders into various countries, through Pakistan, through India, into Russia, into China. And now whatever was there is mixed around with whatever was in the other regions before. It just adds to the mix, and we're not going to know where it came from, whose it was. I mean, I'm sure that they'll claim this has all the signatures of Iranians.
Using that kind of stuff still is such high risk. Like, what's the benefit? Because you're not going to you're going to terrorize people, right? But like, that's what policy are they trying to get the U.S. to change?
Why did the Houthis start bombing tanker vessels in the Red Sea?
Because of the war in Gaza, right?
And so if an ideologically driven group is screaming a genocide is occurring, and they go from having short-range missiles and RPGs to dirty bombs and enriched uranium, then it's not going to be a short-range missile strike on a tanker.
I can't imagine them actually using dirty bombs in Israel just because, like, the goal is like they want
in the Red Sea.
In the Red, so just out of tankers and stuff. I
mean, if they dropped only a couple dirty bombs, like we're talking small, low amounts of uranium, but enough to irradiate the passage, you can shut down a chunk of global trade. And they can. And what happens if they come out and say, we are hereby we have strategically placed dirty bombs around the area, and we are demanding that Israel, surrender and leave immediately. Otherwise, we will detonate them and shut down the Red Sea. Then what do? Sure, you can start striking where you believe they are, but we're talking like weird Mission Impossible-esque like missions to locate and shut down dirty bombs.
Are you guys? Do you know what the types like? What are dirty bomb status right now? I haven't researched.
Dirty bomb is a general term for they can call them suitcase nukes. Basically, it's a hodgepodge of nuclear fissile material in a bomb of varying yield. They're small, but when they go off, they can irradiate small portion, like areas of cities or city blocks.
So it's like a conventional bomb that spreads out the nuclear waste, basically.
It could be. It could be. It could be a low yield nuclear bomb, but likely with enriched uranium, conventional bomb that's going to irradiate. And then what happens if that blows up in an urban area? You could be dealing with decontamination efforts for years. That's the fear of. This is what I don't like about when they come out and they say a nuclear armed Iran cannot happen because Iran will nuke this country, that country. It's like, no, they won't. They're going to use it as leverage. And they're going to say, we can play ball. The bigger fear is when they start passing it off to Hamas. And then Hamas detonates a dirty bomb at the Rafah crossing or something.
I see where their fear is of the bomb, because it's like North Korea. Hey, man, whatever you think, they got a big bomb. They got multiple bombs. I don't know how they got them either, from the Soviets maybe, but that country, you can't really tangle with that country militarily because they'll just launch, I would imagine. They're just like...
North Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have nukes, but they're just like real dumb.
The nukes themselves?
Like their weaponry is particularly ineffective. It's there, it exists. There's concerns.
The bigger problem with North Korea is the proximity of Seoul, South Korea to North Korea.
Right.
They can wipe out Seoul with artillery. Like, you don't need nuclear weapons. Like, they just have enough just conventional artillery to kill 30% of the people that live in Seoul.
As an aside, I do need to point out, I think it was Tate who said this. North Korea, with all of its problems, has a fertility rate of 3, and South Korea is 0.6. So they split the country in half, gave one struggle and torture, and the population is small, but they're growing, they're trying. And South Korea was given liberalism, and they're destroying themselves.
I bet they're lying about that number, though. The North Koreans, I bet they're lying about that number. I'd be shocked. You saying they have 3 kids per family? Is what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Are they allowed to use birth control in North Korea?
Nope. Pretty sure they're not, or they don't have access to it.
Because, I mean,
right.
Youngmi Park, was that her name? She's been on the show before. She was a North Korean defector and came on and was like, people starve on the side of the road. Like,
oh, yeah.
You'll see them laying and
They're
dying.
smaller, starving, but there's more of them.
To then say that they're having 3 kids per family when they're small and starving makes...
You think they would lie to us about
Just
all
because
that?
they
said they had a unicorn in a cave.
They're having 3
Yeah,
kids.
but
that doesn't
maybe-
mean 3 kids
I
are
believe it.
becoming adults and making kids themselves. You know what I mean? Like, people die a lot in North Korea, so like they
Well, I didn't want to derail the conversation. I thought it was funny what Tate said, but tell me I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong with the spreading of this, near 900 pounds of enriched uranium now disappearing. There's concerns that Iran is just saying, "Oh yeah, ceasefire, the war is over. You got it, boss. Load it up."
Oh, for sure. That's what I would do if I was in charge. I'd be like, I don't trust anything coming out of these guys. They just sneak attacked our facilities. Let's prepare.
They overthrew our country in '53.
I'd be
I don't
crazy.
like them at all.
sneak attack.
I'd be crazy. I don't know about you guys.
Why?
How?
Would you guys be crazy?
In what way?
Dude, if someone claimed they had it, so I understand with law and war, that's totally different things. But let's just say I'm on a frontier, minding my own business on my property. I got walls, and a dude rides up with his posse, and they all got guns, and they said, "We are going to come here with artillery, and we are going to level your building because we don't like that you're growing that crop or whatever." And I'm like, "Bro, get out of here. Who are you?"
That sounds like the South.
If they then came and started bombing my property, I would be like, the only thing you will get is blood and dirt from coming to my land. So I'm saying my fear in this is that Iran is going to be, I wouldn't call it irrational. I would call it ideological. The idea of being a rational actor is, if we bomb Iran and they think they'll die, will they back off? Sure, but you can rationally say, we will you will pay. Donald Trump, you can't play chicken with. Iran, do you want to play chicken with Donald Trump? You will lose. Trump's going to be like, I'll press the button.
And if it was,
don't press it.
If it was like just the Ayatollah, he might sacrifice himself and come and take it. But he's got 90 million people he's taking care of, so I don't think he would throw 90 million people away in some. You think he would in some grand sacrifice?
I mean, dude, it's a theocracy.
To get all of Islam to attack the rest of the world?
Yes, 72 virgins await you in heaven to war.
And he's like 80 or something.
It's their belief system. Why wouldn't he do that?
That's what I'm.
They think it's good to die for the cause.
And they may be saying, like, the great evil is taking over and they are destroying us. We will not lay down. I mean, they'd previously said Iran will never surrender. Now they're saying there's a ceasefire. So my fear in all this is that That uranium ain't going anywhere, and they're going to continue working.
I worry about sleeper cells or people pretending to be sleeper cells. You know,
Some people were talking about like if we do something in Iran, then they will activate sleeper cells, without like acknowledging the fact that like having sleeper cells in the United States at all is unacceptable. Like just the fact that Iran would send sleeper cells is in and of itself an act of war.
I mean, they've a lot of them have done it before. There's been sleeper cells here for decades.
Yeah, I mean,
from like Russia and other places.
I mean, I imagine that's true, but it's the idea that you don't want to do anything to Iran because they've sent sleeper cells. Well, that's already calling for retaliation.
Yeah,
you know, like
why are we allowing them to stay?
Yeah, like you know, it's the same thing.
We know where they are. I mean, you know, our leaders were on the news saying they're in all 50 states now. Okay, well, you know, then you must know where they are.
Go
Why are
pick
they
them
still here?
up.
Yeah.
So.
That's why we need to deport everybody.
Everybody.
Yep.
All of them. Yep. All 20 million.
It's like a transfusion. If you take too much too quick, it kills the body. So you got to go. I like this idea of taking the violent criminals first, but then they're going up on Joe Rogan was like, this is getting crazy, dude. They're driving up at Home Depots and tackling dudes.
No, they all gotta go, Ian.
You can't care. You honestly can't care about optics anymore right now with the way the country's been invaded.
Oh, I don't agree, because I think that the Russian and the Chinese, if we don't have them on our side, if they think that we're truly ballistic and we're going to just start sneak attacking,
are they ever on our side?
Wait. We're talking about immigration now. What are you talking about with the Russian and Chinese?
If they see us like go authoritarian, crack down hard, and sneak attack with bunker busters other countries, they might be like, all right, it's too far gone now. We can't. At least now we can be negotiated with because it's the United States of America. We stand for liberty and
How does that
democracy.
fit into the mass deportations?
If you start just grabbing segments of your population, maybe they're a citizen, maybe they're not. We'll find out later.
Putin might like it. He'd be like, respect.
I just saw a video of a Russian dude that had a flag with Putin on it. He pulled it down, crumpled it up, threw it away, and then the next day he just got picked up. They grabbed him and black bagged him just because he threw a picture of Putin away. Like, we are far from that, my dude. We are far from that. People that are getting picked up now are actually criminal, illegal aliens, and you know, maybe some of them haven't committed a violent crime, and they're getting picked up just for being illegal, but they're still here illegally.
Those borders were so wide open.
Ian, you got a lot of ones.
Yeah, I know. That was an extreme thing of me to say, to kind of like try to pull back on the deportation thing on this show. I know a lot of people are very, very pro deportation.
I say
deportation,
wait.
No break, all gas.
Well, we'll deport Ian.
Ian,
To where?
Doesn't
Where do
matter.
you
We'll
wanna
make it a
go?
show. Trump
Paris.
won.
I want to go to Paris.
That sounds like too much fun.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.